Hello, welcome back to Auto Pop Culture. Today we're going over the first debut album by the Bay Area-based singer called Still Woozy, and his first album called If This Isn't Nice, I Don't Know What Is. So I have been circling around this album for since it came out, honestly, and I liked the first song. The first song I came across him was the 2017 song called Goodie Bag, and I know it's one of the popular songs. I really liked it, and I was like, I actually added it to one of my playlists too, but I didn't really collect anything else from him, so I was just like, when this album came out, I feel like I knew a lot less than I should have. So I was like, I don't really know what to do. Should I just take this in fully? Am I gonna be like, so many questions in my head. So I pretty much circled around it for a while, did other reviews and albums, and finally I got to this. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. If it turns out well, great. If it doesn't, then I'll know. Well, it definitely turned out great. I'm really, really happy with this album. Um, the topic of the album is actually something I wasn't really expecting at all. I wasn't really sure. I've heard actually there has been two songs actually, Rocky and That's Life. I feel like I've heard Rocky before. I know for sure I heard That's Life because it was on one of my Friday picks. That one I felt like this album's gonna be about like just kind of accepting life for how it is and not being too hard on yourself or anything. Pretty much the way that I seen it for the album that I did with Jungle with the Love and Stereo. So I thought it was gonna be like that. It's like, oh, love life, blah blah blah. But it definitely is going on a trend of being about a breakup, pretty much. So we're gonna go through this and talk about some of these songs, and I'll try to wrap up the album into the storyline arc as much as I can. So yeah, let's get started. So first off, it starts off with the first song called Woof. This one pretty much talks about the idea of people not understand if people were to go into his head, they would go mad, they would go crazy. They wouldn't really understand. They wouldn't last one day inside his head because excuse me, because he has a lot of stuff going in his head, and he says my temptation is to overuse my imagination, never too good to do that. Like there's that, and then one of the things I really really like that he says, he's like, I bet you want to know why I keep my windows closed. It's not baggage, it's cargo. When you hear cargo going over, saying it's not baggage, it's cargo, and it's a lot of stuff going on in his head. So definitely I don't think a lot of people would last in his head as well. I probably wouldn't myself. Going to the next song called Rocky. This one is about pretty much him dreaming about his ex so he can feel closer to her. I feel like that's what it's about. This one talks about the so he says like, I go to sleep so you'll be next to me, and I always remember that you love me when I leave my body, and I always remember that you love me or that you need me when I'm nodding off slowly. So pretty much it's one of those things that the only way he can really see her and feel that love that he had with her before is when he's sleeping. Going to the next song, which is these three so far is ones I do like. I love the production of it, and I love his singing, and I love the topic. That's Life pretty much is having peace with those, like, with life's inconsistencies. And I think that it's still on the line of his breakup, but I think it also talks about just in life in general, how things don't always go your way. It's sometimes good to come to peace with them and understanding that you can't control everything. Not everything that you think is going to turn out well is going to turn out exactly how you picture it, that's, as he says, that's life. Going to another song that I like is Get By. This one is talking about just kind of giving the relationship another try. He says, I locked you out and fell asleep, and you 007'd your way back in. I will never question you again. Pretty much saying that he had some doubts, and he kind of locked her out completely from the way that he feels. He just blocked her out from feeling for getting connected, but she found a way for them to connect again. So she's like, "Oh, okay, so you really know how to get to me, you know." So from weird kind of like you passed the test, you know. So now I'm fully yours kind of thing. Um, Another one I like, which is the next song, is "Before You Were Mine," which is production wise, all this whole production, the production of this whole album is really nice. It's very relaxing. It's very like island. You're chilling on a beach kind of thing. Um, yeah, I kind of like it. But anyway, back to this. So, "Before You Were Mine" is the next song that I like, and this one's saying that he's not really sure if the relationship will last. At first, you think it's like, "Oh, before you were mine," so he's like reminiscing on the things that were happening before they got together, and now they're together, so everything is okay. But what happened was what seems like to me at least, it seems like it's gone from "before you were mine, I was a mess. Now that you're mine, I still think about whether you're gonna leave me or not, and hopefully what I do, or hopefully I'm presenting my best into this relationship." As he says, "I've been hoping my best would define me. Or I was a waste of space before you were mine." And then he also says, "Hopefully I get a shot, but still maybe I shouldn't hold my breath." So it kind of it seems like it's inside his head. He's like unsure of whether this is gonna last, or whether if he's gonna be able to show his best self to this relationship, and or if she's just gonna leave. It's a very uncertain direction, but he knows that before her, he didn't feel like he really mattered. So now that he does matter in somebody, he's afraid of losing it, kind of thing. Going to the next one that I like is "Kenny." This one talks about he basically talks about his life living in Montana and how he loved it, and he loved the way that the way that the people lived and the atmosphere, and you definitely feel that in the song. It kind of gives you that country kind of sound, and there's beautiful harmonies in it, and it's really really nice. I don't know where Kenny comes in into this, but it seems like that's the base of what it is about, or that's the atmosphere of what it's about, but it's actually still going with the theme of the album. And what this one is him trying to learn to be more independent now that he's out the relationship. So he says, don't pay no mind, I'll be fine. I'll pull myself together this time. I'll try to be someone who could hold up alone. I'll try to be someone who could hold up on their own." So it seems like he's trying to kind of build himself back up, and when he's crashing down, he's going to build himself up instead this time around, which is a good thing. That's growth. But I really like the sound. I just the song is just production wise is so good, and it's the fact that you can visualize exactly what the mood of Montana would be, which is I've never been in Montana, so I don't know. So I'm definitely going off the stereotypical direction, and it definitely hits it directly. Getting down and talked about sex. The next one is that I like is "All Along." The beat and everything is the sound of the song is really nice, but for some reason I really love it feels like it's one of the last like jabs of actually being upset, because it seems like it goes back and forth between really really missing her and really want to be with her, and then scared of losing her kind of thing. But you do see over time, you start seeing pieces and pieces where he starts to kind of come together and just like, wait a minute, this wasn't good at all, you know, like none of this was really going well anyway. So I think it finally hit the peak of it. So now we hit it with "All Along," where he realizes he's completely over the relationship, and he's also realizes that he was right in the beginning, that everything that he thought was going on was exactly what was going on. And I guess the partner wasn't seeing it that way, and he stepped out of it, he could actually see it from what it was. As he says, "Because I'm over it, it's over and I'm over it, I can breathe again a bit." And then he's like, "Because I found out that I wasn't wrong all along." So it's this kind of like angry, but also relief, but also a weird place of just like, it's been, not weird space, but it's been climbing throughout the album of him kind of collecting himself, of reading, really thinking about like, oh, but this, but I really miss you because of this, even though this thing happened. And I love it, even though this thing, like, I can give you an example right now. I think it was in Rocky. I can't. One of the songs. Okay, here it goes. And Whoopee. Oh, and Whoopee. That's the one I didn't even star in. But anyways, Whoopee is another one that kind of touches on that. Whoopee talks about pretty much he wants to get back with her, even though he knows it's toxic, but it's a borderline between whether he really cares about that anyway or whether he actually doesn't. But he says in this, he says all these things about how he misses her and wants to be with her, and like I never knew what was best for me. And then like, but she still comes around, he still lets her come around, kind of thing. And one of the things that he says is like, I love the way that you give me shit, like I can handle it always. And so those kind of pieces happen in some of the songs where you start feeling like, oh, he's starting to realize that this, even though he's hurt, you can see that this wasn't really going as planned for either of them, honestly, it seems like. So yeah, so that's pretty much it, what I got from this album. I'm very surprised. I really like this album. For some reason, I had this really stupid thought that I was like, I don't know if I'll like it. I don't know too much, but this is, I definitely know enough. So, I give this album a 9 out of 10 because I really like the songs. Even the songs I didn't star, it's not like I didn't like it. It's just the other songs spoke out more to me. So that's why I give it more 9 out of 10 than kind of going lower, because I feel like it still was really consistent throughout the whole time. Leave a comment below, tell me what you thought. If you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell too. If you know anything about Still Woozy, let me know. If you've seen him live, because if you've seen him live, I know that we're in the space of COVID and pandemic, but if you have seen him live in the Bay Area, I would please let me know. I love representing Bay Area people and people, especially being in California myself. Like, I love kind of supporting the local people too. So if you know anyone or have your own thing, kind of hit me up too. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next video.